Councillor Aidan McGurran, thank you very much for coming.
Good to be here. Pleasure.
You're the council member for the Environment and Leisure.
I am.
Yeah,
Yes.
and thanks ever so much for taking the time out to come and see Norsey Wood. Well, it's nearly Bluebell time, and as we look around us, we can see lots of wood anemones and things like that coming out, and there's just a hint of the
Just
blue
peeping through now.
coming through. And what we wanted to impress on you is how important these bluebells are, and all the wildflowers, but the bluebells in particular. They're such a spectacle and have been for hundreds and hundreds of years, and for hundreds and hundreds of visitors have given a lot of pleasure. So as it's coming up for bluebell time in this ancient woodland, you know, we really wanted to get that message across that these are important communities of plants. And people to respect.
Steve, you
them.
mentioned it being an ancient woodland there. I know a little
Indeed.
bit about the history of this place, but how ancient are we talking here?
There's been a woodland here for over 2,000 years.
Wow.
It's been separated for at least 1,000, so it's been standing as it is, virtually as it is now, and changed the boundaries for 1,000 years, but it's been part of a bigger forest for over 2,000 years. It's been through successive histories from Stone Age. Actually, we found Stone Age artifacts, Iron Age and Bronze Age. In particular, there's a Bronze Age tumulus here, and we've just recently found through Essex County Council, they did a LiDAR study and a heritage study of the wood. With LiDAR, of course, they can see all the, just gets rid of the vegetation in terms of the vision, and you can concentrate on the ground features. And they actually found Roman remains around the ring of this old Bronze Age burial mound. So there's things we're still discovering about the history of the wood. And then, of course, coming up through medieval period, it was a hunting forest at one time. But then,
And also the scene of one of the last defeats of the Peasants' Revolt.
and the Peasants' Revolt, 1381. And there's the notion is that the 500 that remained, that fled from London after the aborted coup, were eventually slaughtered here in the wood. And one thing I learned just recently, that the track further down, apparently that trackway is the most ancient extant trackway in Britain, which is absolutely incredible, isn't it? And it was mapped in 1593,
Wow.
but they know that it survives for a lot longer than
Steve,
that.
you talked about how spectacular, because we're just seeing the bluebells come through now, how spectacular a sight it is. I've seen it before, and it is quite something, but for those that haven't been lucky enough to see it yet, tell us what it's actually like.
Well, it's a complete mass in many of the places that have been undisturbed. There are some disturbed parts of the wood, and as you go through from the car park, there used to be a gravel workings there. So bluebells have not totally, they've not recolonised properly there yet because of the disturbance. That was back in Victorian times, but it was an ammo dump as well, or an ammunition storage area during the Second World War. So it was disrupted yet again. And where that's happened, the bluebells take a knockback, which is partly why we're having a chat today, because we want to avoid that disruption again just by the human footfall. But the rest of the wood, it's taken many, many hundreds of years for this amount of bluebells, and these wood anemones as well, they take far longer to colonise, and you can experiment with that in your own garden. If you get wood anemones in the garden, they don't move very far very quickly. So you can imagine when you get blankets of them, as you see here, and the bluebells, it takes many hundreds of years to develop that sort of level of spectacle, if you like.
So we want people to enjoy it, but responsibly. So what are the do's and don'ts in terms of enjoying the bluebells?
Okay, right. Respect them by just viewing them from the path. I know it's tempting to pop in there and get amongst them, but please avoid that. Don't trample them, because what happens is, if you trample the leaves, they won't be photosynthesizing. They won't be giving the bulb, because they all come from bulbs, they won't be giving the bulb the energy it needs for next year's growth. And eventually that will weaken the plant, so that will die. And obviously picking them, if you pick them, it's against the law actually. It's illegal to pick or dig them, but picking them takes the seed away completely. So you've lost the seed for that particular year. So view them from the path. Don't trample them. If you have to go in to retrieve your dog's ball or whatever it is, try not to trample them. And also keep your dogs off of them, because dogs, especially big dogs, they've got some weight, and they're going to damage in much the same way as human footfall would.
Even smaller dogs, to be honest, Steve. I used to have a Cocker Spaniel, and he was a very keen gardener.
Oh, yeah.
Not a very good gardener, but very keen.
And
gardener.
a scratcher.
Yes, so yeah.
And basically, impart on your children not to go wandering through them. And if you want to take photographs, please just take them from the path. And if you have to use a lens to get that sort of focus, that depth of field, then fine. Photographs don't cost anything to natural history at all, or to wildlife, and that's the way we really want to keep it.
So enjoy it, but enjoy it responsibly.
Enjoy it responsibly, and leave the spectacle for others to enjoy for many
Years to
more
come.
hundreds of years.
Decades, hundreds of years, who knows?
Such a special place.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you.